Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I apologize. It is rather late that I'm going live, but as you guys know, I've been working on projects and I'm working on my fall issue of my magazine, Queen Magazine. And when I came home today, I took a nap and I didn't anticipate on sleeping as long as I did. So I slept, I think, about 4.5 hours. So I apologize, you guys. I am so sorry that it's rather late, 9:23 at night, and I'm just not going live. But I was exhausted from ripping and running today, taking care of some things, and the heat whipped my butt today. But I'm here. And who we talking about? Life under Trump. Yes, life under the Antichrist. That's who we're talking about. We got a lot to cover today, y'all. What are we talking about today? But first, I'd like to go over some housekeeping. Hit that like button as you come in. Also, if you want to donate to my channel, you can donate through super chats and super stickers. And in my description, there's my Venmo. So if you have Venmo, you can send me something through Venmo. And my PayPal link is in the description as well. So if you want to send me something through PayPal, the link is in the description. You can support me in that form as well. Hello, Alpha Omega. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful compliment. Hello. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Come in. We got a lot to cover. There's so much new stuff going on, even new stuff with Jeffrey Epstein. We gonna talk about, y'all. I think we're gonna talk about Jeffrey Epstein first. Do y'all want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein first? Let me know. Again, I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. As you come in, hit that like button. In the bushes, everyone in the bushes, hit the like button. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. My Venmo is in the description as well, and my PayPal link. So if you want to support me in those ways, you can, beautiful people. Hello, all you beautiful kings and queens. So I think we're going to start out with some Jeffrey Epstein stuff. What do y'all think? I got a lot to cover with that, but bear with me covering it because I've saved so much. So we're gonna see what Summer Lee has to say because she feels that Congress sent them some BS. It wasn't what they needed for covering the Epstein situation. They did not. The DOJ, Pam Bundy, Cash Patel, and Donald Trump did not send what was subpoenaed. So they had to do another subpoena. So let's see what Queen Summer Lee has to say.
33,000 pages. Of those 33,000 pages, less than 1,000 contain any new information. So the big update is the obvious. Donald Trump's DOJ continues to obstruct justice, that we have to continue to demand full unredacted files. If we are serious, if the White House is serious about justice for sexual abuse survivors, we know that Pam Bondi says she had the full file. She has them on her desk. So there's seemingly nothing much that's keeping them from giving us everything. The only things that should be redacted right now are the names of victims or any sort of sexual abuse materials. So this is all a continuation of the conspiracy from Donald Trump and his team to protect billionaires, to protect powerful billionaires, even when they're no longer alive. And right now, there are people who have not faced accountability. There are people at the highest levels of our government, perhaps others, right, that are walking free. And we want to make sure that we are getting all of the information so that we can, of course, get it out to the public, but also so that we can make sure that justice actually prevails for once when it comes to the powerful and the wealthy. That's 33,000 pages. Of those 33,000 pages, less than 1,000 contain any new information.
And that's sad, y'all, because they sent them 33,000 pages and they went through them, and only 1,000 was new info. All the other info, you can Google it and get it. And I showed you on my channel. So the DOJ, Pam Bundy, is playing in the American people's face again. Donald Trump and his goonies are playing in our faces. They're treating us as if we are illiterate, and that we are not. Most of us probably are college educated, universities, whatever you want to call it, have an education higher than the 12th grade. And what does Pam Bundy do? Play in our face. What does Donald Trump do? Play in our face. What did Cash Patel do? They play in our face, sending 33,000 pages. Only 1,000 was new info, said by Representative Summer Lee. She was the one that got the subpoena from the beginning. So now they had to send another subpoena because they want the unredacted files. We don't care that they want to protect Donald Trump. That is not what America's job is. America's job is to get the unredacted files, and we, the American people, deserve to see those files, no matter what Donald Trump feels about it, no matter what Pam Bundy feels about it. Okay? One moment, please. Now, this is something very interesting, and it caught my attention. This lady knew Jeffrey Epstein. She lives in the neighborhood where he had his apartment, his home, his huge home in New York City. She saw Donald Trump. She saw Bill Clinton. She said she didn't see Bill Gates, but she saw Prince Charles, etc., etc. I'm sorry, Prince Andrew, etc., etc. This is you. Come on in, because y'all don't want to miss this. Come on in. And I want to let y'all know everything I show is fair use, great for educational purposes, and great for research and entertainment. But what are we doing, America? We're doing research, okay? All right, all right, all right. One moment, please. So we're going to get started on this. This is asking people the truth about the Epstein files. This is an interview. One moment. Just a moment. Now this, pay attention. This is real. This is not to play with. Listen carefully.
Everyone you've heard about.
What do you think the truth is about the Epstein files?
You mess with that adrenochrome.
This is where Jeffrey Epstein died. Who do you think took Jeffrey Epstein's life? Do you see Bill Clinton going there?
Yep.
Trump? Today, we're going to be asking people the truth about the Epstein files. This right here is Jeffrey Epstein's mansion here
He
in
had
New
a
York
beautiful
City,
home.
estimated around $70 million. How did a man go from being a teacher, becoming a billionaire, to running one of the most secret operations?
Hit the like button, please.
In a very gross operation.
Thank you.
In the world. Today, we're going to be asking people the truth about the Epstein files. Right now, Trump has not released the files. He has actually called it a hoax. Pam Bondi said the files were on her desk. Then it comes out that the FBI apparently says there are no files. There's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things going around about the Epstein files. So today we're going to be asking people the truth about the Epstein files here in New York City. What do you think went down inside this house?
Gruesome things.
What do you want to see happen with the Epstein files, and what do you think the truth is about the Epstein files?
The Epstein file, I think that lady is girlfriend should like really let it loose. She's doing the time, but she's gonna hold on, I think. But she need to let them people know what really happened, especially with the younger kids.
And would you like to see them release the files?
Yes. Information is free.
And why do you think the government is saying that there are no files, and do you believe that it is a hoax?
No, I believe it's the real deal. It's going on to this day still with Epstein going, and the government is the main partners in that's involved. Nobody wants to get exposed.
What do you think happened inside this house?
There was a hanging. Somebody hung himself.
And what do you think the truth is about the Epstein files?
I think he was killed. I think Trump has been guilty as hell on everything he does, including the Epstein files.
So there are photos with Trump with Epstein, and they were buddies. And then Trump did ban Epstein from coming to Mar-a-Lago after finding out that he's kind of a creep.
Well, I think he probably sensed that something was going to go wrong or was going wrong, and he acted.
It has been said that Trump was reported Epstein. That's the rumor. That is not something I started.
Did you guys ever see
Allegedly, it has been said.
Right here? No.
Several times.
I have no idea. Have you been living in the neighborhood for a long time?
Now listen to her. She tells it
I've
all.
seen a woman who lives in the neighborhood and would frequently walk past Epstein's home. Pay close attention to what she says, as she's a first-hand witness about who came in and out of these doors. This is a witness and a testimony like I've never seen or heard before. And did you ever see any really rich and powerful people go inside this building?
You want to know who I saw going in there? Everyone you've heard about.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you name any names?
You know them all from the newspaper.
Do you see Bill Clinton going there?
Who?
Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Bill Gates?
No.
Trump?
Yeah. You think of the other ones. Andrew.
Prince Andrew. You saw Prince Andrew going there. And what do you think actually happened inside of this home?
all the most terrible things you could think of bad.
And what do you think the truth is about the Epstein files?
Well, someone has them. Yeah. Maxwell probably.
Hi, Queen Mimi.
But she'll stay put.
Did you ever talk to Epstein or Maxwell?
No, I never laid eyes
Hi,
on
Joan
Maxwell.
MDA1.
But
Hello.
I knew the couple that took care of him by name.
And what did they say about them?
They left as soon as he was indicted.
Hi, Queen Pamela Jones.
They probably are. They were from the Philippines.
And
his wife. Yeah, well, sure, they would have been interrogated. And we were told even our building, when it first happened, not to, because the doormen know everything. They're the ones that would say, they see the security guards, the people, the police, I guess, or someone came to them. And our superintendent said, you don't know anything. No one should be interrogated. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
who do you think Epstein was working for?
Nobody knows that.
Do you think he was working by himself, or do you think he was working for some other?
No, I think he was smart, pushy, knew how to surround himself with wealthy people. He was a smart cookie.
How does somebody go from being a school teacher to becoming a multi-billionaire to running?
Well, there are other people that do that, right? He was smart, and he knew how to play the people. He wasn't a rich man, but he surrounded himself with rich people. You can learn a lot doing that, and they believed him.
And would you like to see Trump make people like the Clintons testify about what they saw at the islands?
Yeah. I'd like Trump to come forward too. He said he was
Amen.
never involved. He won't.
She saw Trump there.
And do you think Maxwell should testify and expose everybody?
Yeah, but she would only do that for a pardon, and they're not going to give her that.
Would you support Donald Trump if he were to give her a pardon to let her spill all the information?
I mean, she's out of jail.
And
she was definitely his partner. I believe that.
Yeah. So you've seen people like Prince Andrew, Trump, the Clintons, a lot of other people walk inside this building.
Yeah, they all come with security guards who park here or stand out here, so you can't miss it. And I saw plenty over the years before we knew what was going on. Just young girls. I mean, young.
How old were the girls that you saw go in?
Well, because they were coming from schools. They were coming from public schools.
Really?
So they were high school age.
Wow, so you saw a bunch of high schoolers going inside here.
You could tell. I always come this way home, and we cross the street, and maybe on the far corner be two girls. Now, don't get nervous. It's going to be all right. He's really a nice man. He promised people that didn't know people like this exist in a gorgeous house like this. They didn't know he was going to be some. He said, "Oh, you're so beautiful. When you get out of high school, I'm going to get you a modeling job. I'm going to set you up." And he promised them all kinds of things, and they unfortunately believed him.
What do you think about some of these girls?
I must say, I'd see him a lot. Did I ever have a conversation? No. But you don't see it in the newspapers, I think. There was something, he was very attractive. There was something, I don't know what it was. I mean, I'm a woman, but he had a look, he was attractive. You don't see it in the pictures now. And he always had, tight blue jeans, a pink button-down shirt. He looked okay.
She's talking about Epstein. That's what she's discussing. Epstein. Hello, Queen Nicole. How you doing?
There was something about him attractive, and people said that about our president too. He had a look. I never had a conversation. But I see him. I say
hit the like button, please.
Good morning to you. I didn't know I was going to get into this.
Wow. And remember this lady, as she has even more shocking things to say at the end of this video. Now let's head over to where Jeffrey Epstein's life did end, but really quick. While we are on the topic of things being removed or deleted, sometimes you do want your own information deleted from the public, like your address, phone number, email, maybe even details about your family. And
we're gonna fast forward that. Hold on.
Yeah, I've been using delete. They release the video, but they edit out a full minute. Either release the full video or just don't. And why do you think right now we're not getting the Epstein files? They said they had the files that they're going to release them on the desk, and now they're not. Now there's apparently no files.
I think the powers that be don't want it released.
And do you think if the Democrats, for instance, had this dirt on Trump before, do you think they would have released it already? Or do you think it's because there's too many people on both sides?
Say that one more time.
For instance, the Democrats did everything to try to get Trump not to be president for the second time, but they never pulled out that he was
because
on the
they
Epstein
never
files.
had control over it.
So do you think
Only
if
the
Trump was on
DOJ.
the Epstein files, they would have already been released?
Oh yeah, they would have been beating the drums louder than the other
And
side
that
of the
was
aisle, for
William
sure.
Barr, if
And
I'm
so
not
now,
mistaken.
do
He
you
was
think there
Trump's
actually are
DOJ
no Epstein
previously.
files, or do you think that some really, really important people are on it?
I think there's some really important people on that, and they're going to do whatever they can not to release that information.
And did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And are you regretting the vote?
Not completely, but this is one of the scars on the administration, in my opinion.
This is where
Hey,
Jeffrey
King
Epstein died.
Ellen.
Who do you think took Jeffrey Epstein's life? Do you think he did it, or do you think somebody else did it?
Probably somebody else.
You would know. Would you say this is a government cover-up?
They have all the information, right? So, I mean, between either the last administration and this one,
Subscribe to Nick
There's a
Shirley's
reason why
YouTube. This is his video,
stuff's
Nick
not coming out.
Shirley.
Trump's saying this is a hoax from the Democrats underneath Obama, and you trust that?
I think it's
Alan, you are my
parties
mod.
have individuals that they just don't want.
You're the only one in here tonight, I
that
believe,
information
King Alan.
getting out, and having people that they're close to be connected to that situation. So I think it's
I need you,
It's,
King Alan. I love you.
both parties involved in.
And I personally think that if the Democrats wanted to go after Trump with the Epstein case, they would have brought this up beforehand.
Correct.
And I mean, they did do a lot of other things. They went as far as creating the whole entire Russia hoax that's now been proven that it was created
That's not
from
true.
Obama and the Democrats.
That's what I hate about
So whether
clear
Trump be
people.
on
They
this
lie
list
on
or
Obama
not,
because they don't like
there's
him. That's
still
not
a lot of
true.
fishy things as to what the truth is.
Correct.
You think Trump's on the list?
In terms of being at Epstein's,
He's on the
island
list and he's a
whatnot,
bad
you
man.
know, did Trump have association? I think there's visual evidence to confirm that. But again, I think there's people within both parties and connected to both parties where it's like, well, like if the Democrats were to release it, then like how much is Bill
Hello,
Clinton
Queen
involved in?
Gloria
If the Republicans
Warner.
release it, then there's people within the Republican Party. I think it's easy to point to the
Hit the
president.
like button, please. Thank you,
I don't think
guys.
he's in there, though.
I personally do not think that Trump did anything at the island. However, I do know that there's photos with him with Epstein. But when he figured out who Epstein kind of was, he banned him from our
Not
island.
true. I don't. In my opinion, I don't
So I don't
believe
think
that.
Trump's in that list of predators.
Trump
Well, I
is
think you get
very
rich people, so
involved,
like
in my
Bill
opinion.
Gates, his name is one that's come up quite a bit. I mean, who is maybe paying people off to make sure that that stuff stays secret and whatnot? And I think with the way like the media works nowadays too, like let's say Pam Bondi released all those files, like Trump's name would be in there, and just the fact that like he was associated with Epstein but maybe wasn't at the island, people don't want to have the capacity nowadays to separate the two.
I
It's
saw
just the
that,
media
King Alan.
about guilt by association or whatnot.
There could be a lot of innocent people that just thought Epstein was some billionaire.
Right, and wanted to be friends and kind of use his money and whatnot.
But then there's also proven that there's stuff that went down at that island.
Correct. Yeah.
So it makes it a little hard.
Right.
The only reason I can potentially see why these files are not being released is because of how many people could be on the files.
Trump
that are
is
innocent.
all
And maybe
over
this
the
was part of
files.
Epstein's plan to fill a book or client list with as many people as possible to use as blackmail, and then only invite a select few to indulge in the massages that happen on the island. Essentially, this would get dirt on a few people, but then ruin the reputations and trust of anyone else in the files. For instance,
We should
Trump
not
being
worry
friends
about
with
their
Epstein,
reputation.
but then banning
The
him from
victims
Mar-a-Lago
are more
means that he
important.
knew or had speculation that he was a creep, and then banned him from ever getting close to him once again.
Child,
Meanwhile,
Trump
other
is
people
not a
like
good
Bill
person.
Clinton had accusers say Epstein said,
He's a
referring
racist
to
at
Bill,
that.
he liked them young. And Bill Gates' wife allegedly divorced him because of his ties to Epstein. And then there's Prince Andrew, who paid off a victim who then later committed suicide. That is just a theory I have. However, I think they should release the files no matter what. And what did these rich and powerful people indulge in on the island? This guy at the park has a theory. Why do you think the super powerful and rich have been tied up with the stuff that happened on the island? Why do you think they just don't get satisfied doing normal people things and they go to this island?
Because there's things that go on that people aren't into. And you match with that adrenochrome. You know what adrenochrome is? Okay, so you surprised I even said that. I saw your face.
Explain to the people what the adrenochrome is.
Adrenochrome is like a drug. They take children and kill them, and they drink the blood some kind of way. I forget how they drink it or whatever. What they do to it, but yeah, they basically are like vampires.
So do you think you were drinking the adrenochrome at the island?
I believe that.
Who do you think killed Jeffrey Epstein? Do you think he killed himself, or do you think somebody ordered?
He didn't kill himself. He got information on too many people.
Who do you think ordered the?
I don't know who ordered. I can't make an accusation like that. No, but he was killed. Period. He ain't hang himself nowhere.
What do you think the truth is about the Epstein files?
I think the Epstein files a lot more that the public hasn't been given the information to. And I don't believe he committed. I believe he was murdered because that spot, that prison, is corrupt. Okay, and if you got money, you can make moves. Epstein was in a crowd of powerful people. Trump, England, over there with royalty. You don't be around them kind of people and all of a sudden you kill yourself.
Nope.
Doesn't make sense. Powerful people want to feel some way. Can we trust this dog? Can he stand up and do the bid? Nah, he's going to tell. We got to get rid of him. That's my opinion.
And who do you think ordered the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
I wouldn't say one individual. I would say powerful people that was worried that he might reveal certain things. And before their name even come up, they made moves put in place. Listen, make sure this guy disappears. How, whatever.
Now, if you're upset, they have ordered the subpoena of people like Bill and Hillary Clinton to testify.
That's a fact.
What do you think they will say when their time
They're going to
comes?
plead the fifth. They're going to say we have nothing to say. And then they're going to say it's no foul. So why would we testify? Y'all just create things. It's been dealt with. We investigated it. Investigation is closed. Leave it alone. But certain people are not going to leave it alone. They're going to ask questions, and you're going to see more and more contradicting theories. Listen, everybody got their opinion, but everybody got a different theory. But where's the truth? Truth has a certain sound to it and a ring to it. And that sound, that ringing ain't been coming up. It's been a bunch of theories.
What do you think happened with Epstein files?
Is it possible that he was more than just a regular, garden variety, like billionaire / perp, with government ties? Yeah, it's quite possible. In fact, if I were to fathom a guess as to why the files are not being released, it's probably a mix of realizing that there are intelligence assets that either he is or his people are, mixed together with the fact that probably people like with, for instance, Prince Andrew, like allies, people associated with allies were in there that it would cause an international scene. So
You think there actually are files?
what is the word? I guess the question is, what do you mean by files? Like, did Epstein keep a black book of his own?
Hold on, y'all. We're gonna fast forward this closer to the end.
One thing I am very.
Because we're gonna be here all night with this.
Files are sitting on my desk.
We don't have
Yes,
all
they're sitting
night.
on my desk. Why haven't they released them? And now there is no files.
I think that Pam Bondi probably went outside of what she was supposed to say, or what she knew, for that matter.
No, you knew it was a school before. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
So his home was a school before.
Birchwasser still exists. Jewish school.
In the
Private.
Wow.
That's why the building is the size it is. Yeah.
So this was a Jewish private school before.
And the young girls would
this
come
house for
from
Jeffrey
there.
Epstein, or how did he afford it?
Wexner.
Who is he?
He owned the limited. Probably other things.
Les Wexner is a multi-billionaire who was one of Epstein's clients from when Epstein randomly went from a math
There was
teacher
a rumor,
to being
allegedly,
money
that him and
manager for
Epstein had an
billionaires.
affair.
Wexner was one of Epstein's only
That was a
known
rumor,
clients, and
allegedly.
Wexner gave him the power of attorney, which allowed Epstein to buy and sell properties and make large deals in Wexner's name. And this is how he got the Manhattan home. Wexner's ties and affiliation with Epstein are a mystery, but he plays a key role in Epstein going from math teacher to billionaire. And how deep do you think this Epstein thing is? How many people do you think were involved in this operation?
Oh, tons. You can put a number on. I personally don't think Epstein committed suicide. I think he was murdered because he knew too much.
You think Trump's a pedophile?
No.
Child, please.
He loves women, though. You know that.
Again, subscribe to Nick Shirley. That was pretty interesting. That was interesting. Hold on, please. Just a moment. Oh, now this right here, y'all. This is a MAGA Republican discussing this guy that's a MAGA Republican leader says that he saw Trump name is out over the Epstein case. He's in Congress. Take a listen to this. So all of you that are MAGA want to say that Trump is a good man, but listen to this man that is part of Congress. Now, not in the past, present. Listen to what he has to say about Donald Trump.
Congressman who's been dodging town halls because he does not want to address how he has harmed and destroyed the lives of his constituents, was caught at a GOP event on a hot mic talking about the Epstein files and saying that Donald Trump's name is all over the Epstein files.
This is one of his people.
Name is Mike Collins. He represents
Trump's own
Georgia's
people
10th
telling on him.
congressional district.
Hit the like button, please.
A crowd of friends and didn't think anybody was recording what he was saying. So when a participant who was at this GOP only event asked him about the Epstein files, he said, look, I think that Donald Trump's name is all over these files. He was caught on the hot mic. But what he says, and I want you to listen very carefully, is he goes, because Donald Trump was the one who called the FBI against Epstein in order to get Epstein arrested. That Donald Trump was the hero of this fantasy world that's being created by MAGA Republican Congress member Mike Collins. First, let me play for you what was captured on this hot mic within the past few days. But then I want to tell you, it's interesting, when Mike Collins talks about Donald Trump calling up the FBI, what's fascinating about that is that when I spoke to Michael Wolff, Donald Trump's former biographer, Wolff was potentially going to be the biographer for Jeffrey Epstein, met with Epstein multiple days, has hours and hours of recorded interview with Epstein. One of the things that Epstein speculated was because he and Donald Trump were involved in so many things together.
This is not
that
CNN,
after the two
sorry.
were getting litigious against each
This
other
is Midas
over
Touch
a real
Network.
estate
Subscribe.
transaction, because they both
The
had
best.
dirt on
Ben does
each
it the
other,
best.
Donald Trump may have struck first and then told on Epstein as an anonymous source, as basically an informant, if you will. Epstein was never sure. Maybe Trump told because they were doing stuff together, or Trump was there when Epstein was doing things. Epstein said to Wolff that may have taken place. And when Epstein shared that story with Wolff, that became part of Wolff's second book on Trump called Siege. Epstein returned from a trip to the United States and then was arrested again by Trump's DOJ.
Yo, president is a rat.
After entering that non-prosecution agreement.
He want to be a mobster, but he's a rat.
Let's tie this all together. First, let me play for you the hot mic moment where Mike Collins, again, who's avoided town halls, here's what he said at the GOP event. Let's play this clip.
I want to ask my question, which was, party unity, Epstein files. Do you think Trump's in there? Yeah, I'm sure he's in there because he's the one who was telling the FBI about it. He's the one who kicked the guy out of Mar-a-Lago and then called the FBI. Yeah, he's in there. So, what's going to happen? Are you going to release him? Oh, we need to release him. I have no problem releasing him, but you've got to go through the. You got to go through the judicial. We all know that. The problem is, it'd be our luck that somebody's going to breach somebody that's supposed to be protected. Yeah, well, they've got to go through and all that stuff. They've got to go through and fix all of that. And then, of course, now you got judges that are saying, I'm not going to release anything, grand jury, this lady's up here filing an appeal or whatever. And it's I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a judge, but it is more complicated than just saying, boom, here's the files.
MAGA is dangerous.
Democratic Congresswoman Stansberry says, look, even Collins is saying that Donald Trump's name is all over the files. Here, play this clip.
We know from reporting that Pam Bondi told Trump he's in the files. So these guys are totally manufacturing a smokescreen to shield the president. And in fact, there was a hot mic moment released today by Mike Collins, who's a representative from Georgia, in which he said, of course, Trump's in the files. He's all over them. So these guys know what's going on.
All right, now let's pull it back for a second.
So MAGA, shut your mouth,
just
MAGA.
Say Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files as the hero, as the protagonist who saved the day. Okay, well, if that's the case, Donald Trump, who has his face plastered on buildings in Washington,
Anthony
D.C.,
Raharis, go run in traffic. Go run in traffic.
Phony stories about himself in this hero fantasy that he has where he saves everyone with his savior complex. Don't you think he'd probably want those files released right away? Wouldn't that be something that he wants?
Hit the like button, please. Come on, hit that like button.
Which we know is in the files. Repeatedly, Trump was briefed by his own.
I agree, yo, Adrian. Donald Trump smears himself. He's dumb.
Told him in May, your name's all over this thing, and they came up with the plan. We've got to deep six this. We've got to hide it. Redact all references to my name. We're not releasing these things at all. Does that sound like somebody who is innocent or who is the hero? I'm going to play for you what Michael Wolff told me in just a moment about the falling out between Epstein and Trump. But let me do what I would.
The real truth, because Donald Trump can't tell the truth. He doesn't know the truth.
Present what's called a
the truth doesn't know him.
Motion, where all you can do is give undisputed facts. I'm not trying to be argumentative. Let me just give you the undisputed facts, and you can.
Well, Gail Johnson, leave, girl, with your rotten teeth. Just leave.
Undisputed fact from the late '80s through about 2005. Donald Trump and Epstein were very close.
Go get them rotten teeth poured out and go lose some weight.
That's undisputed fact one. Undisputed fact number two. In 2002, Donald Trump told New York Magazine, Epstein is a great guy. He likes beautiful women. Many are on the younger side, right? Undisputed fact number three. When Donald Trump wrote a book, it was ghostwritten back in 1997, he gave a copy to Jeffrey Epstein and says, Jeffrey Epstein, you are the greatest. Undisputed fact number four, Donald Trump has been found liable for sexual assault by a federal jury.
And that's your leader.
Fact number five, Donald Trump is on audio saying that if you're rich like him, you can grab women by their genitals and they let you do it if you're rich and famous. Undisputed fact number six, when confronted with that, Trump said that's the way men have been for millions of years, fortunately or unfortunately. Undisputed fact number seven, in that case where Donald Trump was found liable for sexual assault, Donald Trump said that there were certain women who he wouldn't have sexually assaulted simply because they were not his type.
Not that he didn't do it, but listen.
That she was not his type.
He never said he didn't do it.
Donald Trump spoke in front of a group of young Republicans, high school students and college students in New York back in 2024 and said locker room talk. That was the most courageous thing that he's ever said, calling sexually assaulted women locker room talk. Another undisputed fact, Donald Trump
hit the like button, please.
Where there would be girls from ages 14 to 28 at these beauty pageants. He said he would go in and he would inspect the people naked. And
Johnny said
because
it.
He was the
from his paper
host
thin
of the
lips.
beauty pageant. You get away with it. You just get to inspect them and say, I'm the inspector. You know, he's like a doctor is what he said, you know, words to those effect. Another undisputed fact, when Donald Trump was on Howard Stern, he said that Lindsay Lohan, who may have been 18 at the time, she was 17 or just turned 18. He said he would love to sleep with her because she's mentally ill. The mentally ill ones, he goes, mentally ill ones, they're the best ones in bed, he says. I mean, her words to those effect,
said that
which is
about a
disgusting.
teenager.
Another undisputed fact, in 1997 or so, the Sunday Mirror, which was owned by Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, Robert Maxwell, talked about how Ghislaine would bring young women to Donald Trump, many different young women Ghislaine would bring to Donald Trump, and he would keep them in his penthouse. That was in 1997. We know that another undisputed fact.
Don't get mad at me because Donald Trump is a horrible person.
From Mar-a-Lago,
I don't have that
like
personality.
Virginia Giuffre, 17
I'm not
years
trash.
old. She was homeless. She got
Donnie,
a job in Mar-a-Lago at the spa. Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey
Take it out with his dead mom and daddy, not me.
Recruited this child.
They made him, not me.
Zeus. for Epstein, and then Epstein started sex trafficking her to rich and powerful men. That's another undisputed fact. Donald Trump, undisputed, said that Epstein stole girls from Mar-a-Lago, stole them from Mar-a-Lago, like Virginia Giuffre. He remembered the name Virginia Giuffre.
You are pathetic, Barbin babe. These are my lips. I'm black, honey. I don't have to do my hair, my lips, everything. And I'm 51 and look better than you. And never had any work done. I can't help you not beautiful. I can't help I'm beautiful. And all I do is fill in my eyebrows and put on lipstick. My lips. God gave me these. Ugly girl.
We know that Trump and
don't come on here trying to hate because you ugly. God didn't make me ugly. Take it up with the Lord, girl.
Where girls of indeterminate age,
hit that like button.
We're told that they would meet VIP model agencies.
Hey, Queen Wisdom's daughter. Let me pause this a minute. Hey, beautiful. She said, hi, beautiful. Trump is a clown. This mess with Epstein is despicable. We know what they're trying to do. Yes, we do, beautiful. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Queen Wisdom daughter. Hey, you better tell them. Tell them like it is. Put it on the floor. Put it on the floor. They don't want to comprehend. MAGA don't like the truth. They come here every day with their nonsense, and I'm not threatened by them. I can stand on my own. I don't play wolf. I don't play like I'm a wolf in sheep clothing. That ain't me, baby. So MAGA, just sit and enjoy the show. And if you don't like it, you can leave. You won't be missed. Dismissed, but you won't be missed. All right, all right, all right.
Agency, and they hung out with the crew of people who owned modeling agencies, where there was lots of accusations of sexual assault of underage people at different modeling agencies, like Epstein's modeling agency, this other French guy's modeling agency, this whole crew, including Donald Trump through this event, the Look of the Year competition, with this modeling agency, and this modeling agency would use these was known for sexually abusing girls. So that's another undisputed. So these are all undisputed facts, and they threw this event at Mar-a-Lago. We don't know the age of these girls at Mar-a-Lago at all, but they were of all different ages of Mar-a-Lago. And what happened there, we don't know. You know, were they playing hopscotch? What the heck was going on? You know,
I love being
those
are, funny.
I think, undisputed facts right there.
Did you know that the liver is the second largest organ in your body? It's responsible.
Y'all heard the GOP leader said from his mouth, a MAGA Republican, said that Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files. And that came from Midas Touch Network, because that GOP leader was on a hot mic and he did not know he was being recorded. Well, all right, Donnie, your own people from your cabinet are telling the truth on you. But MAGA want to come in my chat and get mad at me. Honey, be mad at your own party, baby. Don't get mad at the queen because you dropped your crown and I still wear mine. Don't be mad with me, baby. I'm not Donald Trump, and I would never be a nasty MFer like him. He's low IQ and bad genes. Queen Wisdom's daughter said MAGA is a big mag because they look like some damn fools in these streets. They look like fools in the street. They looking bad right now. MAGA, it ain't our fault. Y'all, nobody taught y'all better. Y'all wasn't raised and taught how to take a bath. It's things y'all don't know how to do. Black people try to teach you how to take a bath. You still don't bathe right. And then you walk around here smell like a dog. Stop it. Let's get back to a little bit more of this.
Why this friendship ended is as follows. In 2004, Epstein believed himself to be the high bidder on a piece of real estate in Palm Beach.
Listen carefully, MAGA.
$36 million was his bid. He took his friend Trump around to see the house to advise him on how to move the swimming pool. Trump thereupon went around Epstein's back and bid $40 million for the house.
Hit the like button, please, everybody. Thank you.
Epstein, who was well acquainted, in fact, deeply involved with Trump's scattered finances, understood that he didn't have $40 million to pay for this house. Now, if that was the case, it was
Trump was pulling a stunt.
Someone else's
money laundering, allegedly.
At the time, Epstein believed this to be the $40 million of a Russian oligarch by the name of...
I'm going to pause. Let me read this right quick, beautiful people. Thomas Jordan says, all these incel megas bent over on the daily for Papa PDF file. Crying so hard right now. Don't cry. Dry your eyes, mega. You come on here every day and you bully me and you still ain't, you haven't taken me down. You have my Cash App shut down. I believe somebody at Cash App is a mega and they had my Cash App shut down. Lied on me. I know nothing about Bitcoin and all the other stuff and said I did some fraud with Bitcoin. MAGA did that. But you can't take me down, and you tried everything to take me down. Well, what you can do is send me a super chat, a super sticker, MAGA, and you can send me something through Venmo, or you can send me something through the PayPal link in my description. And all you want to do is harass me. If you want me to read your stupid comments, send me a super chat. How about that? Or go run out in traffic. Who cares? Anybody support Donald Trump, a sick individual. Children are innocent. I don't care if they were teenagers. They are innocent. They're not adults. Although Donald Trump want to make the legal age 14 that a man can be touching on a young girl. Get a life, MAGA, because you have children too. You're not smart. You low IQ and bad genes like Donald J. Trump. Running traffic. Thank you, King Thomas Jordan. We're going to continue to listen to this right here.
Less than 2 years later, this same house that Trump had bought for $40 million was sold for $95 million. It was, in fact, sold to Mr. Rybolev.
A Russian.
This is all a red flag of money laundering. And
Donald Trump?
Epstein did, and he was furious about losing this house. I mean, there's something about these guys that
Trump went behind his back and stole the house off and under him
as a real estate betrayal. Epstein, after the sale of this house, after Trump went around his back, got this house, Epstein began to threaten him. He began to threaten him with lawsuits. He began to threaten him with going to the press and saying that.
But Donald Trump got to him first and had him arrested.
A money laundering deal. Trump panics at this point.
Listen.
And Epstein believed, and he believed to his dying day, that it was Trump who went to the police, Trump who was fully acquainted with what was going on at Epstein's house, fully acquainted for many years.
Because he's a part of it,
Trump
allegedly.
Went to the police and, as Epstein said, dropped the dime on him. That is to say,
Trump is a rat,
informed
a
the
snitch.
police of what was going on, and an investigation began, and all of Epstein's legal problems for the next 15 years began to
That's not
unfold.
a friend. He's a foe, a rat.
This story about this piece of real estate and their falling out was first published in June 2019. It's published actually in my book, Siege, the second book I had written about the Trump White House. Epstein had recounted this story to me. I put it in this book. Epstein, at that moment, was in Paris.
Listen, y'all, carefully.
With some alarm. And
Trump had him arrested.
Said he was.
These are the words of Epstein's words.
He might have said too much. 3 weeks later, he returned to the United States from Paris and was promptly arrested on the tarmac Teterboro Airport in New Jersey when his plane landed.
So one of the questions is, not in a way that Trump is like the good guy, but one of the things Epstein speculated was, could there have been a situation where Donald Trump, because of that litigation involving the Russian oligarchs' acquisition of this home that Epstein told Trump about. Then Trump swooped in and sold it for twice the amount. And there was litigation. Did Trump then talk to the police about Epstein in order for Trump to avoid the litigation with Epstein, and for Trump to get the property, keep the property, and avoid the litigation? You know, you could put that together. So I don't know. I'm just giving you undisputed facts, circumstantial evidence, and you can judge for yourself.
Do as you may with
one of
it.
the things that Mike Collins is now doing is posting things like this: "Go woke, go broke," with Donald Trump's image and likeness next to the Cracker Barrel logo. Mike Collins is posting, "It's beyond comprehension that there are 55 million people in this country with visas. The Trump administration says it's..."
We're not concerned about none of that. Let's see what else got to be said about the Epstein stuff.
To know that Donald Trump is gutting victim services for victims of sexual assault.
And that's sad.
Child victims of sexual assault.
Donald Trump has no heart. He's a monster.
New York Attorney General Platkin was on Legal AF.
Hit that like button, please. Thank you.
Is getting rid of victims protection services at the DOJ and funding local victims protection services at state and city levels. Here, play this clip.
First of all, thanks for having us. It's great to be here. And I have to just give Rob and the other 20 AGs on this case, and frankly, all 23 of us in the coalition, a huge shout out. This is just a team effort on all of these cases. But this case really, frankly, shocks me that we had to file. You noted 40 plus years ago, the noted liberal Ronald Reagan signed into law the Victims of Crime Act because we as a nation were not supporting people who had gone through these unimaginable horrors. We're talking about sexual assault victims, victims of domestic violence, gun violence victims, child sex abuse victims. These are the types of people and their families and loved ones who benefit from this program. It supports them in moments of need. I can't think of something that is less political than that. And yet here we are, for the first time ever, having an administration say, unless you bend the knee and do something that courts and Congress have said you don't have to do with respect to mass immigration enforcement, we're not going to fund your victim services. We're going to tell these incredibly vulnerable people that they're...
So if you don't do what Donnie says, he's not going to fund the victim services. Who are the victims? They are RAPE victims. Of course, a man that's known as a PDF file doesn't care if there are services for those type of women. Not someone that has SA'd women. Why would he care? Why would he even be in the Oval Office? Slime voted for Slime. One moment, please. We're going to listen to one of Epstein victims right quick. Hold on.
I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. It was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again.
Never doesn't care.
They must die in prison because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years. I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped.
Could Trump be one of the co-conspirators? It says Epstein survivor Sarah Ransom on Ghislaine Maxwell. I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was RAPED 3 times a day. Ghislaine must DIE in prison. That's her feelings. That's what she stated. And I just agree with her. I do. It's just like every morning I wake up and I'm checking to see if Donald Trump gone yet. Has God taken him to hell? Not purgatory, straight to hell, where he belongs. But he's still here. Oh God, why? Why, Lord? Why is he still here? A horrible person, Donald Trump is. One moment. Just a moment, everybody. One moment, please. I'm trying to see what we're going to talk about next, okay? We're going to speak on the horror and heartbreak of what is going on and what happened with those children in the school. Hold on. Uh-oh, it's on mute.
Today about has been doing as well about my kids who happen to be about the same ages as the two who were killed, about sending them off to school this morning. I've been thinking about their friends and their teachers, about all the parents, about all the grandparents out
and
there.
And MAGA doesn't want control, GUN control. Trump doesn't care either.
And all they should be hoping to do is have someone to sit with at lunch or someone.
Trump doesn't care about the children. That explains a lot.
An update when they get home. And that is not what these parents in this school experience today. Sorry, this is a tough one. Having your child killed while they're sitting in a pew for
Trump does not have compassion.
Is not what any parent should have to worry about. And I have felt a mixture of anger and a lot of anger and emotional exhaustion about this today, as I'm sure many of you have, because we have been here so many times. So many times.
Yep, co-sider.
And yet again,
you're right.
like clockwork, half the politicians in
I
our
heard
country
about
have
that
little more to
co-sider.
offer than thoughts and prayers. That is all they are offering. Join all of us in praying for the victims, was Vice President JD Vance's response today. That's what he said. That's it. Please join me in praying.
And Trump,
for
what
everyone
has Trump
involved.
said? Nothing. He's raggedy.
We have seen this play out over and over again. There is a shooting, then come the thoughts and prayers, and then comes the attempt to shift the focus. This is what always happens. You're going to start seeing narratives. You're already seeing them. They're already out there about how the shooter was trans. You're going to see narratives about how the shooter appeared to be anti-Trump and anti-Semitic.
That's not true. The shooter was actually MAGA, a white boy. I think I have that. Hold on. Hold on. It's always MAGA. And it's always, I hate to say it, white people, what is going on with y'all people? Y'all like to hurt children. Are y'all like Donald Trump too? Jesus. So, this is from Occupy Democrats. Let me mute the music. Then I'm going to read to you about this guy. Who is it? A white male. Whoa, always a white male. Yeah. MAGA. Who is this monster? The Minnesota Catholic school shooter has been identified as 21-year-old Robert Westman. White guy. Whew, Jesus. On his GUN and GUN magazines were written anti-Black, anti-Hispanic, and anti-Semitic messages such as 6 million wasn't enough. He's not an immigrant. He's not Antifa. He's not an ICE. He's yet another right-wing white nationalist, homegrown terrorist, just like nearly all the others. Before you try to make it into somebody that is for the Democrats, we're not going to allow you to do that. This is the truth. Then what does MAGA do? And Trump had his goonies to do, to start putting out lies. Well, I'm going to stand up for what's right, because we're not going to entertain Donald Trump's BS nor MAGA's BS. I'm going to read to you again who it was. Who was it? Who is he? A white male. They always doing the devilment, the work of the devil. Minnesota Catholic Church school shooter has been identified as 20-year-old Robin Westwood. On his GUN and his GUN magazines were written anti-Black, anti-Hispanic, and anti-Semitic messages such as 6 million wasn't enough. He's not an immigrant. He's not Antifa. He's not an ICE. He's yet another right-wing white nationalist, homegrown terrorist, just like nearly all the others. And what they mean by all the others? For example, Charleston, South Carolina, in the Black church, that white male, a grown man, and they wanted to label him as a kid. Yes, Donald Trump labeled him as a kid. That Ruth guy labeled him as a kid, a grown white male, went inside the Black church in Charleston, South Carolina, and unalived 9 Black people. And Donald Trump could care a hill of beans. He had nothing to say, but that was a kid. He wasn't a kid. He's a grown man. 20 years old is a grown man. When a black child is 15, what y'all said? He grown. Well, honey, 20 years old is grown. Stop playing in my face. Stop playing in my beautiful black face. Telling me it's pee on my leg when it's a dog on it, and it telling me it's rain when it's pee from Trump's little ping. Ugh, the thought of that. Fix it, Jesus. Oh, I feel like I want to throw up. Stop playing with us. Don't do that. Don't do that. Lying is not nice. And when MAGA grow up, we're going to realize it ain't nice. You're going to realize soon, MAGA, because your leader is going to come down. I'm going to show y'all this AI thing because your leader will be taken down. God is going to tear your kingdom down, Satan. Wait a minute, I got something for y'all. God is going to tear your kingdom down, Trump. Hold on. Don't get discouraged. I got y'all. Satan, God's going to tear your kingdom down. Yes, God. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to rejoice. When Donald Trump is taken up off this earth by our Lord and Savior, I will be celebrating. That's all I'm going to know to do is to celebrate.
Satan, we're going
this is
to
AI.
tear your kingdom down.
Oh, I got to play that again. Trump is not a good man. God is going to tear your kingdom down. And he ain't going to purgatory and let his soul linger. He's going straight to HELL.
Satan, we're going to tear your kingdom down.
Why do y'all think his ankles all swollen and everything? Let me tell you something about evil people. When God has really just took his hand off that reprobated mind, everything starts falling apart. His career, a career criminal, career SA abuser, a career con man, the man that got 34 felonies. God is going to tear your kingdom down, Trump. And nobody's going to be at your funeral. The way you threw your first wife in that ground is ugly. You're going to be thrown right out there too with no tombstone. Satan, God's going to tear your kingdom down. So let's listen to this because white people are sick of Trump just as much as us beautiful black people. Yeah. So let's listen to this man tell it like it is. And he goes off on the GOP for his state that's taken from him and hurting the American people. They are under the orders of Donald Trump. So we got to be mad at Trump. His GOP is under the orders of him. Him, the monster in the Oval Office.
Out of Trump's ass.
Hold on. Listen carefully.
You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us. I am pissed, and I'm pissed at you because I have emailed you because it's easier for me than to try to talk on the phone without profanity. I would appreciate you taking your father's U.S. Constitution book, read it.
Thank you, Queen Victorious One.
Lines underneath it, and get Trump out of office.
See, black and Hispanics are not the only ones. Tommy, hit the like button, please.
What he talks about.
Hello, King LaSwan.
For about a half hour today, and I got sick at all the lies he brought up. You know nothing about what a working class citizen does. Come down here. Come down here and start trying to pay your medical insurance. Come down here and walk into Costco to try to feed your family, to feed your kid that's moved out, to feed your great-grandchildren. I had a very good job in California, and I'm able to feed my family, and it goes all the way to great-grandchildren. You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your
hit the like button, please.
Of us.
I am pissed, and I'm pissed.
Oh, he pissed. He said you need to take your head out of Trump's fat wine grandma looking behind. If you look at Trump from behind, he's wide like an old grandma, y'all. He a male that's got a body like an old grandma. That's Trump. Built like an old grandma. Let me tell you something about this right here. I'm going to let you hear this, and we're going to listen to Newsom in a moment. Because Governor Newsom is going to be the one to take Donald Trump down. Take him down. Slam him. Put him in a headlock. Whatever you got to do, get him out of there.
News, the California Supreme Court has denied the California Republican Party and Dillon Law Group request to block Gavin Newsom's redistricting proposal, Prop 50, from the ballot on November 4th. The docket entry states the petition for writ of mandate and application for stay.
Hit the like button. Who took their light back? Somebody just took their light back. You better put it back. Put that light back up there. Thank you.
The key difference here in California is that this is a proposition on the ballot this fall where the voters themselves have a chance.
Put that light back up there. Stop playing in my face.
Social media writing,
come out the bushes.
48 hours later, this case has already been rejected. Keep them coming, GOP. We'll keep winning. By the way, just the nerve.
A win is a win, baby. Thank you.
To do this unilaterally without the will of the people. But when Democrats fight back and actually put it to the voters, suddenly they say, oh, it's not okay anymore. We're going to keep following this, so spread the word, follow our account, and listen to the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for more updates.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network. Honey, when I tell you those attorney brothers, they doing the thing. I don't miss a day of checking them out on YouTube. And on their Instagram, I follow them on Instagram. Anybody I subscribe to on YouTube, I follow them on Instagram. They're going to get my support. Yeah. So let's listen to Governor Newsom a little bit, okay?
Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want... I have 24 Trump 2028 hats.
They keep sending them to him.
His folks keep sending me.
It's delusion. The grand delusion.
He's going to run again. Don't give me, you don't... Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house? I don't think Donald Trump wants another election.
He doesn't. Donald Trump doesn't want another election. That's why he thinks that he's going to be able to start a war in our country amongst us, within our country. And then he doesn't have to leave the Oval Office. You're going to leave the Oval Office one way or another. But like I said previously, and I keep telling y'all, it's not going to be a black or a brown person that do it. It's going to be one of his own color to take him out. And I'm going to do the Holy Ghost dance all over the place. Yeah. I'm going to shout. And then I repent for my sins later. You got to do the right thing. But first, I'm going to celebrate when he's gone. Yes. So let's listen to some more Governor Newsom. He said Trump is building a private police force because he thinks he's not leaving that Oval Office. They're going to carry you out of there like they did in 2020 because they had to force you up out of there because you didn't want to leave when it was time for you to go in 2021. You lost. Pence told you you lost.
He will send the National Guard. He will send it all across this country, and he will do so through Election Day. And if you
give me to 100, y'all, come on, give me some likes.
As he demobilized our National Guard, he kept hundreds of them through Election Day.
Come on, give me more likes, y'all. Give me to 100. Thank you.
Has with ICE and Border Patrol to do the same.
Trump has them bullying Americans.
You have the largest private police force in the world. When they're done with it, all that funding and that big, beautiful portrayal allows more resources for this private police force that increasingly is showing a tendency not to swear an oath to the Constitution, but to the President of the United States. And he'll be sending them to voting booths and polling places all across this country.
And we still gonna vote.
And serious moment in U.S. history. And by the way, I say that
Lock
as an American, not as a Democrat. Every Republican should be ashamed about this and scared to death about not just these authoritarian tendencies, but these authoritarian actions by the president. He is weak. He's weakness masquerading as strength. And that makes him more dangerous.
Thank you, Queen Victorious One.
He will send the National Guard. He will send them all across this country, and he will do so.
And let me tell you something. He thought he was going to send the National Guard to Chicago. Let me tell you something, Donnie. Just like the KKK came to Atlanta, and what happened? They came to Atlanta and went to a black neighborhood. What happened? They got their tail whipped and pow pow. Now Donnie knows, and that's why he changed his mind about sending National Guard to Chicago, because they're gonna get their ASS whipped. I thank God my daughter's out of the military, retired. She completed her years that she promised them. I thank you, Jesus. I do. Because if they would have went to Chicago, it would not be pretty. And Donald Trump, all those people lives, their blood would be on your hands. They would be on the Antichrist hands, Donald J. Trump. I said what I said. One moment, please. So, Donnie, let's see. I got more. Let me see, because I want to see. Okay, we're going to go back to Newsom, Government Newsom with his fine self.
He is to invest in crime suppression. I hope the President of the United States would look at the facts.
He's not.
Just consider Speaker Johnson's
He's a criminal himself.
State and district. Just look at the murder rate. That's nearly 4 times higher.
I love you too.
In Louisiana, Speaker Johnson, 4x higher.
One moment, let me go back. Somebody said, "I love you." I love you too. I love you.
May not be familiar with these facts, so
I love all you kings and queens, even these haters. Say, "I love you."
Imagine this is alarming to the president to learn these facts. Mississippi leads the nation as the #1 murder state in America.
Red state. They all red states with the higher crime rates.
May resonate with the President of the United States. It's got a murder rates 180%.
All red states, the highest crime rates.
LA has more people. These are all per capita numbers. More people than Los Angeles. Perhaps the president could deploy the National Guard in every corner of Mississippi. And the fact remains, if the president is sincere about the issue of crime and violence, there's no question in my mind that
he's not honest. Why don't you send a National Guard to the red states, Donnie?
Troops into Louisiana, Mississippi to address the
because Governor Kemp is not going to allow it in Georgia.
Continues to plague those states. If he is to invest in crime suppression,
cold blue, I love you.
Look at the facts. Just consider Speaker Johnson's state and district. Just look at the murder rate. That's nearly 4 times higher than California.
The point Newsom is making, because Donald Trump sent the National Guard to California. Although it's more people, the crime rate is lower in California than all those red states. Donnie, you don't know how to do the math and do the comparison properly, because if you did, you wouldn't have sent them there. You would have sent them to the red states. But he's not going to send them to Georgia because Government Kemp is not having it. And if you send them to the hood in Atlanta, they're not going to make it back out of there, because the KKK went to, Decatur, Georgia, somewhere? Atlanta? And what happened? They hand them their ASS. That's what happened. Pow, pow. You asked for it. You went over there in the black hood messing with them. Go to the trailer parks. But they're not, because it's white people. Donnie. Foolish man. He is. So let's take a listen to this. This is countries that halt shipment to the USA over Donald Trump's policies. So if you want certain things, you're not going to be able to get it anymore. This came in today. This is from Midas Touch Network, Midas Touch. Oh, that's in Spanish, and they don't normally put it in Spanish. Hold on.
We have some news right now. Mexico has become the latest country to suspend postal shipments
I'm gonna read it to you, the list.
of America, following a number of other countries over tariffs and the confusion caused by Donald Trump's.
Hit the like button, please. Come on, get me to 100 likes.
Here's what you need to know. Several countries have now stopped, essentially suspended.
We're in trouble, America.
The European Union or Mexico, over a Donald Trump plan to end an exemption called a de minimis exemption, which essentially eliminates tariff duties on low-value items under $800. And now, today, according to Politico, Mexico is the latest country. And just in the past year, Customs and Border Patrol says that over 1.3 billion packages actually came into the United States under this exemption. That's over $60 billion worth of goods. And so now Mexico's government's saying, we're not going to send packages.
Yes,
to the
President
United
Claudia
States, neither
Sheinbaum says
postal
no
services
more.
in the European Union and elsewhere. Until at least they get more information about what the heck is happening. So spread the word and follow on stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
And what's so amazing and baffling, y'all? Donald Trump used to have his tires, those little cheap tires that you see now on the shelves of Marshalls and TJ Maxx, etc. What Burlington Coat Factory, etc. In the thrift store and the Goodwill as well. They was made in Mexico and China. Yeah. Even his daughter, what is her name? Ivanka, her stuff was made in Mexico and China too. None of Donnie's stuff pretty much has been made in America. But he want to bring everything to America. But honey, those little cheap phones he trying to get y'all to purchase are not made in America. No. Donnie is fake. So I'm just going to run down a couple of the places that no longer you can get stuff mailed from. Netherlands, Poland, Switzerland, Thailand, Singapore, South Korea, India, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, Spain, United Kingdom, Germany. I'm going to just stop. It's a long list. So my daughter's been to Germany. So if my daughter was still in Germany, she couldn't write me. No. See what Donnie doing to you, MAGA? He don't like you. You ain't going to get your mail from them places. So you better not have any loved ones in any of those places. No. So we're going to kind of go over to the next subject. And this is what MAGA, I consider MAGA is very evil. And this is from Governor Shapiro. I think this is his name.
The idea that these children were in their Catholic school preparing not just for the
hit the like button
school day, and they were praying and gunfire rang out. It's not okay. And it doesn't have to be this way in the United States of America. And we shouldn't accept this as normal. We shouldn't. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that mental health is addressed. That guns don't get into the hands of people who should
MAGA don't want GUN control.
Life. That we don't settle our differences by picking up a weapon.
MAGA can't help themselves.
No community is immune from this. This is happening in rural communities, urban communities, suburban communities. Communities led by Democrats and communities led by Republicans. No one's immune from this. And it's time it stops. What sickens me is not just the carnage that we see in our schools, but the lack of spine some leaders have across this Commonwealth and this country in accepting this as normal. This is not okay. And this is not normal. And we stand out as a nation, sadly, as a place where this continues to happen. This isn't happening in other nations.
It's not. Only in America.
It needs to stop.
Dangerous,
Lori and I and
delusional white men that's doing it.
Praying for our friends in Minnesota. We also have to focus on doing something about this and not.
And Donnie hasn't spoke on it at all.
Fearful that they could get shot.
Children should not have to worry about that. Yes, that was Governor Shapiro. Children shouldn't have to worry about going to school and getting pow. But the white Americans don't believe in GUN control. MAGA, you got children too. You and Donnie do not believe the children are our future. They are. Do something about it. We're going to skedaddle over to some more Epstein stuff. One moment. It's new stuff. Some of it is old files, but some new files have been added. I can't play the music, so you're going to have to pay attention. And you can screenshot, go back and stop the video on replay and get the info. It's new stuff that has been added. That's why the Democrats are upset, because it's the stuff they gave them of the 33,000 pages. Only 1,000 was something new. It's because it's stuff that we have. I've shown you that they send them. And that is not what Queen Summer Lee asked for when she subpoenaed for the Epstein files. But Pam Bundy said the black lady don't know nothing. Queen Summer Lee don't know nothing. We're going to try to fool the black woman. Well, the black woman said, oh no, we subpoenaed again. Because the black woman ain't going to give up. She going to get it. What we need. I can't play the music, so pay attention to the files. Look, the first name. This is from the Epstein files. If you got to go watch on replay, screenshot, do what you got to do. Pause and take pictures of it. It's not so entertaining without the music, but I cannot play music on YouTube. What's been circled it pertains to Donald Trump. This is from the Epstein files. Hit the like button, please. I need 100 likes. Give me 100 likes. Thank you. Whoever hit the like button, thank you. Come on, I need more likes, everybody. This is from the Epstein files. Hit the like button. Get me to 100 likes. Donald Trump, this your boy, Donald Trump. Why do he have all these different telephone numbers? I think they said he had 14 plus telephone numbers that Jeffrey Epstein had logged in. Mostly that's somebody that's doing something wrong to have all those different telephone numbers. Most criminals have a bunch of different telephone numbers. I can understand 1 or 2 or 3 because businesses, you know, you have different numbers, but not that many. This is from the Epstein files. Hit the like button, please. I love you guys. Come on, hit that like button. Thank you. I cannot play the music. This is from the Epstein files. The Epstein leak. That's what they naming it. The thing is, you guys, when Queen Summer Lee, Representative Summer Lee, sent the she wanted unredacted files. She didn't want this because that's already out in the public. But what does Pam Bundy and Kash Patel and Donald Trump do? They send things that the public has already seen. And the Democrats is not having it. And I don't blame them. I would not accept that either. That's not what I asked for. And like Queen Summer said, I'm going to play back what she said. We're going to go back to that. I'm going to go to her video. That's not what she asked for. I'm going to play her again. And we're going to be getting out of here soon. Uh-oh, it's on mute. Hold on.
33,000 pages. Of those 33,000 pages, less than 1,000 contain any new information. So the big update is the obvious. Donald Trump's DOJ continues to obstruct justice, that we have to continue to demand full unredacted files. If we are serious, if the White House is serious about justice for sexual abuse survivors, we know
they're not concerned about the survivors.
She has the full file. She has them on her desk. So there's seemingly nothing much that's keeping them from giving us everything. The only things that should be redacted right now are
give me the likes. Come on, hit the like button, please.
Sexual abuse materials. So this is all a continuation of the conspiracy from Donald Trump and his team to protect billionaires, to protect powerful billionaires, even when they're no longer alive. And right now, there are people who have not faced accountability. There are people
and that's
at the
Donald
highest
Trump.
levels of our government, perhaps others, right, that are walking free. And we want to make sure that we are getting all of the information so that we can, of course, get it out to the public. but also so that we can make sure that justice actually prevails for once when it comes to the powerful and the wealthy. 33,000 pages. Of those 33,000 pages, less than 1,000 contain any new information. So the big...
Now, I'm going to tell you what's messed up. I am part of the public. I can go get the files online. That's not what she's asking for. She wants the unredacted, because what did Cash Patel and Pam Bundy do? They had 1,000 FBI agents go and redact Donald Trump's name, anything pertaining to Donald Trump, out of the Epstein files. Like Queen Summerlee said, that ain't what we asked for. They asked for non-redacted files, not to protect Donald Trump. Show what he has done. Show what he did. He's all in the Epstein files. His own people. I'm going to let you listen to the recording again. His own GOP MAGA Republican said that Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files. Hold on. We're going to listen to that again, because we ain't going to let it slide. Oh, no. We ain't letting that criminal get by with anything. No. Let me go find that recording again. The GOP leader caught on hot mic spilling dirt on Trump. Yeah, we're going to listen to that again, because MAGA need a subliminal message. They don't comprehend.
A MAGA Republican congressman who's been dodging town to address how he has harmed and destroyed the lives of his constituents was caught at a GOP event on a hot mic.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button,
saying
please.
that Donald Trump's name is all over the Epstein files. The Congress member's name is Mike Collins.
Mike Collins, look him up.
Georgia's 10th congressional district. And he thought he was in a crowd of friends and didn't think anybody was recording what he was saying. So when a participant who was at this GOP-only event asked him about the Epstein files, he said, look, I think that Donald Trump's name is all over these files. He was caught on the hot mic. But what he says, and I want you to listen very carefully, is he goes, because Donald Trump was the one who called the FBI against Epstein in order to get Epstein arrested.
Thank you.
Donald Trump was the hero.
Thank you for your likes. I need more likes. I need to get to 100 likes,
by
people.
MAGA Republican Congress member Mike Collins. First, let me play for you what was captured on this hot mic within the past few days. But then I want to tell you, it's interesting when Mike Collins talks about Donald Trump calling up the FBI. What's fascinating about that is that when I spoke to Michael
like I
Wolff,
said about this previously, Donald Trump is a rat.
Wolff was potentially going to be the biographer for Jeffrey Epstein, met with Epstein multiple days, has hours and hours of recorded interview with Epstein. One of the things that Epstein speculated was because he and Donald Trump were involved in so many things together that after the two were getting litigious against each other over a real estate transaction because they both had dirt on each other, Donald Trump may have struck first and then told on Epstein as an anonymous source.
I believe Epstein on that part.
An informant, if you will. Epstein was never sure. Maybe Trump told because they were doing stuff together, or Trump was there when Epstein was doing things. Epstein said to Wolff that may have taken place. And when Epstein shared that story with Wolff, that became part of Wolff's second book on Trump called Siege. Epstein returned from a trip to the United States and then was arrested again by Trump's DOJ at that point in time after entering that non-prosecution agreement. So let's tie this all together. First, let me play for you the hot mic moment.
Listen carefully now.
Again, who's avoided
hit that like button. Thank you.
Said at the GOP event. Let's play this clip.
I want to ask my question, which was, party unity, abstract out Epstein files. Do you think Trump's in there?
Yeah, I'm sure he's in there because he's the one that was telling the FBI about it. He's the one that kicked the guy out of Mar-a-Lago and then called the FBI. Yeah, he's in there.
So, what's going to happen? Are you going to release him?
Oh, we need to release him.
Please release the unredacted files.
You've got to go through the judiciary. We all know that. The problem is, it'd be our luck that somebody's going to breach somebody that's supposed to be protected.
They want to protect Trump, the criminal, Donald Trump.
And then, of course, now you got judges that are saying, I'm not going to release anything grand jury files. This lady's up here filing an appeal or whatever. And it's. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a judge, but it is more complicated than just saying, boom, here's the files.
Now here, Democratic Congresswoman Stansberry says, look, even Collins is saying that Donald Trump's name is all over the files. Here, play this clip.
We know from reporting
I like
that
her, the
Pam
redhead.
Bondi told Trump he's in the file. So these guys are totally manufacturing a smokescreen to shield the president. And in fact, there was a hot mic moment released today by Mike Collins, who's a representative from Georgia, in which he said, of course, Trump's in the files. He's all over them. So these guys know what's going on.
All right, now let's pull it back for a second. So
we're going to pull it back and we're going to leave it right there. We're going to drop the mic on that. Bam! We're dropping the mic on it. Donald Trump's own GOP leader, MAGA Republican, said out of his mouth, not knowing he was being recorded, yeah, he's all over the files. It's about protecting him. And the reason that Donald Trump did what he did to Epstein was because Donald Trump, he said he reported Epstein. And there's so many people making that statement about Donnie being a rat. And you know, the mob don't like rats. So Donnie, if you're trying to be a crime mob, you ain't good at it, baby. Oh, no, you're not, Donnie. You're horrible at it. You're a snitch. And a bitch. And a witch. You're a witch and a snitch and a beat to that too. Add a B at the beginning. Take off the W of witch. You all those things, Donnie. You're a horrible man. I don't think you are a God's creation. You're the Antichrist. And you ain't loved by many. You loved by few because MAGA is just a few airheads. So we're going to skedaddle a little bit to Queen Lisa Cook. You know, Donald Trump tries to run her. So Donald Trump, he's trying to fire her. Yeah. The federal official sues Trump over attempt to fire her, challenging his power over the independent agency. Oh, we can't play music. I hate when people put music over their videos. So let's see what this right here said. Over 400,000 views. This is a quick note to everyone that has asked me why I am so hard on Donald Trump. And after this, we're going to get on out of here. Yeah, here we are. I need 10 more likes, everybody. Hold on. It's a video, but they don't have no, okay. Let's see why I don't have any sound to this. Hold on. Where it said, a note to everyone that has asked me why I am so hard on Donald Trump. Please read. So we're going to read it. It says, it's a lot to read. Okay. This is to address a couple dozen people of 1.7 billion who have viewed my content in the past 60 days. I am addressing you simply to save myself the aggravation of having to respond to you personally. I do not read almost every comment and certainly not every email. This is my opinion along with so many of my followers here. Donald Trump is a malignant narcissist, sociopath, a narcissist, a shameless, power-hungry demigod who preys on fear, ignorance, and division while systematically undermining truth and democracy. Preach, brother, preach. He is a pathological liar, a fraudster whose entire life has been built on deceit, vanity, exploitation, utterly incapable of empathy. Look at the children that was unalive yesterday. He's not even mentioning it. Reflection of moral responsibility. He demeans women, mocks the disabled, glorifies cruelty, panders to racism and extremists, and and weaponizes misinformation to manipulate and terrorize the vulnerable. MAGA. His leadership is a grotesque, whatever how you say it, spectacle of incompetence, arrogance, and corruption. He surrounds himself with sycophants, opportunists, and criminals in sacrificing national interests for personal gain. His words are poison. His policies often catastrophic. In his character, a living testament to greed, ego, and moral bankruptcy. Amen. He told the truth. Trump's legacy is not one of achievement or progress, but a trail of chaos, dishonor, and humiliation that will sustain American history, leaving him remembered not as a leader, but a disgraced con man. A disaster of norms and an enduring symbol of everything that is selfish, vile, contemptible in power. He's a catastrophic in human form. A walking embodiment of lies, hatred, destruction, and whose very existence is a threat to the soul of the nation. I could go for hours. I look forward to your comments. And I like him. I appreciate him. Visuals by Rob. That's what he had to say about your leader, MAGA. He didn't lie. No, it's all true. He's a horrible man, a monster. And that's being nice. He's the Antichrist. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. Wait a minute, one more thing. Hold on. Hold on, let me go back. We're going to listen to this. This is about the Epstein. I forgot to play this.
That the House Oversight approved a subpoena to go out to the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, kind of pulling on a thread.
Hit the like button. I need 8 more likes. Come on, hit that like button. Give me 100 likes.
The drawing that has been the subject of that Wall Street Journal article, which convicted felon
Come
Donald
on,
Trump
y'all. Give me them likes. Give me 200 likes. Don't do me like that.
Of him doodling on things. I will say I do have the subpoena.
Come on, I need 7 more likes, people.
So its return date is September 8th, meaning the documents must be provided
Hit
by
the like button for me. We're all winners. Let's stay that way.
Why you guys also included here
we're
things
a
like
team
the last
up in here.
Testament of Epstein and NDAs, which I think is actually very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I need 4 more likes, beautiful kings and queens.
Since the initial first set of subpoenas that Republicans put together, we had been asking for a much broader set of subpoenas. We wanted the birthday book, we wanted Alex Acosta, and Republicans had refused. Over the last couple of weeks, we have kept that pressure on, and every single day.
4 more likes. Come on, it's 187. Give me more likes, please.
Look, you guys can't say you want transparency if you're not willing.
Thank you. Whoever hit that like button, thank you.
So folks like Congressman
3 more likes.
Have been leading the way around getting this birthday book and other documents.
I need more likes, beautiful kings and queens.
And the Republicans that if they chose not to subpoena or bring in Alex Acosta or the book themselves.
More likes, come on. I love y'all. I love you too, Sonny D. I love you, King, Queen, whichever you are.
As it relates to forcing votes in committees on the floor to get these documents. They don't want to be embarrassed anymore. So I think in many ways, James Comer kind of agreed to our demands. He's now.
I need more likes. Come on. Thank you.
For weeks. He has now also agreed to bring Alex Acosta in for questioning, which is a critical piece of all of this. And so that pressure that not just us, but the country has been putting on
Thank you.
the majority and Comer and the party has been really, really important. As it relates to...
Give me more likes. Come on. Y'all got me to where I need to be, but give me more. That helps me stay in the algorithm. Come on, beautiful kings and queens.
And made a doodle for Epstein, who, by the way, we know, according to Epstein,
hit that like button.
Best friend. Let's be very clear. His closest friend for 10 to 15 years. And then to say that you somehow don't know this person.
Before you get up out of here, hit that like button.
Obviously, to be a huge lie. And so it's important that we get this done.
I love you, King LaSwan.
We saw that the
Donald Trump wants us to stop talking about the Epstein situation. We're never going to do that, Donnie. You're going to go to your grave a loser. known as an SA abuser, known to have 34 felonies. You're a felon. That's the worst thing to be, an SA abuser. Hit that like button. Come on. Come on. Hit the like button, beautiful kings and queens. Hit that like button right now. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live. Without you, I wouldn't have a live. Without you, I would miss you so much. So I don't want to be without you. We're going together real bad. We in love. I love y'all. I love y'all and I love the Lord. Hit that like button. Come on. Hit that like button. Pronto. Come on. Hit the like button. I love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. God bless each and every last one of y'all. I wish you nothing but prosperity in your life, because in this time, in this economy, life under Trump, it has been pure HELL. The economy is bad. We're actually in a recession, but Donald Trump would not tell y'all the truth. Why? Because he's a compulsive liar. He don't want to admit that he is down in the polls. He's lying to you guys about he's 70% up. That's a lie. He's a compulsive liar. Hit the like button. I love y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Okay? All right. I love you. God bless. Bye.